we ask ourselves on this Sabasaba Day, is it still a democracy? Now, a latter day men and women, by this time young, the Genzs, have taken this a step further. As we commemorate Sabasaba, which is itself not even a national holiday, and as far as I'm concerned, if one was to ask me, this Sabasaba should become a national public holiday because it is so significant. This is, as I said earlier, the struggle that brought Constitution 2010. But this struggle now has been heightened by the Genzs revolution. The Genzs are both on the streets, because in Sabasaba and Kamukunji, those men and women were on, a lot of them were men, by the way. We don't mean demean our ladies, but it comes to a time when that time a lot of men came out. But this time it's a lot of young women who are online and on the streets. We said during the funeral service of the first one to fall, young man Rex Masai, fell at 29. And we have realized between Rex and the young man Onyango's 12 years, a lot of them are young people between the ages of 18 and 23 or thereabouts. And so they have carried the struggle of Sabasaba. And today, as they gather in the streets of Nairobi or wherever they are, we want them to know that Azimio la Umoja One Kenya leadership stands with them, as indeed we stand with all Kenyans. But we must also ask some basic questions. We had demonstrations last year where we lost about 75 Kenyans. And the demonstrations on the cost of living, the high cost of living. And my brother Eugene will bear me witness. When we met as National Dialogue Committee, we had itemized as item number 1 for discussion, the high cost of living. That was very important to us as Azimio. But Kenya Kwanza side said, no, it is our business as government. You will not discuss. And eventually we said fine. Then we went on to the other issues, the culmination of which was the draft bills that are now lying in the National Assembly. We think that the low-lying fruit out of those discussions is the IEBC Amendment Bill 2024, which William Ruto has promised to sign into law. We say that this should be done expeditiously on this Sabasaba Day so that we can have the process get underway of coming up as soon as possible with a new IEBC. Because the country right now is at a crossroads. This is not a thing that we think should be delayed for even one extra day. Allow us also to really commend our leaders in the Senate, the whole Senate. I saw for the first time Azimio and Kenya Kwanza talking the same language at the floor of the Senate when they refused to go on recess because the country was burning. What happened on the other side? The National Assembly. I think it was a tunnel that helped them get away from young Kenyans, running away from their own youth. And the ambulance. Some of them, I'm told the speaker, escaped in an ambulance. And some of them tried to access Vigilante House, and the police for once told them, no, the Genzs are on you. And you may have seen them escape by helicopter atop the KICC. What a shame. Running away from your own people. But the Senate has stood firm and asked for once for accountability in support of the agenda by Genzs. So we, Mheshimiwa Senator Ambua, who is the Deputy Minority Leader in the Senate for Azimio, we thank you and your team. And even those others like Boni Alwale And even I saw Cheruyot apologize. It is apology time to this country. So this Sabasaba Day is very significant in this country, very, very significant. Of course, when it happened in the 80s and 90s, it gave way to the doing away with amending the Constitution, the famous Section 2A, to allow for multi-party democracy, which is what we are today. This time, the Genzs got William Ruto to do away with Finance Act 2024, and also Finance Act 2023, which is still operational. Some of us hold the view that, for example, the housing tax is a slush fund. We have said that before. The corruption continues unabated. A lot of monies get collected, and no accountability with regard to how they use their monies. The problem, some have said, in this country is not revenue collection, but the consumption levels, the opulence, the greed that has been demonstrated by leaders, the inexplainable nepotism in this country. Additional to corruption, nepotism, tribalism. But the Genzs, congratulations, they have come up now with a country that we can say is getting detribalized. Because if you want to annoy the Genzs, you talk to them about your tribe. So this is a big achievement, and the days of transparency are ahead of us. But before that happens, there's a lot of work to do. And we have come to Meru to tell our brothers and sisters that the struggle continues, a luta continua. Even before we go to church and meet the people in Lari and also in Makutano later today. My colleagues can add something. We had wanted a written text, but I think we've given a summary of what we wanted to do. We say justice, we were saying justice for Rex Masai, but not just for Rex, because it was the first one to fall this year. The 75 of them who fell last year and whose families are still distraught with grief, justice for them as well. We say the people, men and women who have responsibility over these deaths still, and we know them, we have called for their resignation, and the responsibility begins from the very top. We are not talking about 75 now, 41. You're looking at a total of excess of 100 Kenyans who fell to the police bullets.